What is going on, y'all? Welcome to the channel. If it's your first time, my name is Nick. I'm your host. In this video, we are in Colma, California, which is not too far from San Francisco, going to check out the gravesite of the one and only Wyatt Earp. Before we get started, let me just clarify one thing. This is an older video. I posted this about 3 years ago when I was just getting started on YouTube. Basically didn't get any views because obviously I didn't have any subscribers and it was new. So anyway, I'm re-uploading it and just kind of adding this intro in to kind of give you the background story of Wyatt Earp. So who is Wyatt Earp, you may ask? Well, he's basically a lawman, a gunslinger, a gambler out in the Old West. Most of you, just like myself, I remember the first time I heard the name Wyatt Earp was when I was a young lad. My dad put on the movie Tombstone with Kurt Russell, who plays, obviously, Wyatt Earp. That was absolutely a great movie. Kevin Costner has also played Wyatt Earp in another movie. But yeah, that's basically who Wyatt Earp is. If you didn't know, I'm sure if you are watching this video, you probably already know that. But he was born in Illinois in 1848. And if you saw that movie, you also know that his whole family was full of lawmen. You know, the Earp brothers. In the Tombstone movie, they basically depict Morgan Earp, Virgil Earp, and Wyatt, kind of, and obviously Doc Holliday, but you know what I mean. While Wyatt was making his way further west, like I said, he was born in the year 1848 in Illinois. While he was making his way west, he basically worked as a police officer in Wichita, Kansas, and obviously Dodge City, Kansas. You know how they say, let's get the hell out of Dodge. Yeah, I would like to go to Dodge City someday and check out Wyatt Earp's stomping grounds. Now, like I said before, when most people think of the name Wyatt Earp, they think of probably Tombstone, Arizona, the Tombstone movie, but they also, I would assume, think of the famous gunfight at the OK Corral in Tombstone, Arizona. And basically, if you've seen the movie Tombstone, what happened afterward is basically the Cowboys were duking it out with the Earps. Virgil Earp was injured, and unfortunately Wyatt's brother Morgan Earp was killed. Afterward, we would hear stories of chasing down the Cowboys for revenge. Obviously, a lot of that is dramatized in the movie, but a lot of that did actually happen in real life too. While in Tombstone, Wyatt also met his future girl. I don't want to say wife because they had like a common law marriage, but future girl, Josephine Marcus, who is buried with him today. We will also see her grave. Basically, after leaving Tombstone, Wyatt went to San Francisco, where he reunited with Josephine Marcus. They spent the rest of their lives together as common law husband and wife. They never actually formally married. Now, in the year 1929, Wyatt did pass away at the age of 80 years old in his home in Los Angeles, California. I read that they're not 100% sure what he died from, but it's a strong possibility that he died from chronic, if I could say this, cystitis, I think is what it is. I looked it up quick on Google. It's basically like a bladder, type of bladder disease. I've read that a lot of times it's confused with a UTI, but it's not an actual infection. But you know what is so interesting? You guys are going to love this. What's really cool to know is even after all the gun battles and everything Wyatt was in, he, for some reason, by some miracle, he was never actually shot. He was never wounded in any of the gunfights, which is crazy because you read the story, see the movies, that's all he was doing. Gunfights in the Old West, but for whatever reason, he never got shot or injured. Lived to be 80 years old. Pretty crazy. I knew his headstone was black, and I had a feeling it's straight ahead right here. Let's go take a look. Wow. Oh my gosh. And of course his wife, Josephine Sarah Marcus. That is something. This is crazy. I didn't know his middle name was does that mean he has two middle names? Barry Stapp? Wyatt Barry Stapp. Josephine Sarah Marcus. That nothing so sacred as honor and nothing so loyal as love. Wow. 1848 to 1929. She was till 1944. Now next to them, there's a Nathan Marcus. It says brother. So we're just assuming that that is maybe Josephine's brother. And then Marcus in the back. Maybe that was her parents. Oh yeah, father, mother. Maybe her whole family's here. I don't believe Wyatt's brothers are buried here. It just looks like they're kind of buried with her family, but right here. Now, what I always like to do is just give a little touch. Six feet below us. That's crazy. I love doing like famous graves because I usually say in whatever videos I do, I would have never met this person, Wyatt Earp, in my lifetime. I always think of like Elvis when I went to Graceland for the first time. You know, that was like the closest I would ever be to Elvis. So these are really cool to see. I grew up with him just pretty much because like the Tombstone movie, but I've done so much more research on him and the whole gang, you know, Doc Holliday. If you read a book, it's just called Tombstone. That's really gives you an insight to like his life. This is so cool to be here, spending a little time this afternoon with Wyatt and of course his wife Josephine. Well, we are going to say our goodbyes to Wyatt Earp, and I think Levi is not too far from where we parked, so we're gonna go try and find his grave next. But this was definitely something to see, a little bucket list item, in a beautiful, beautiful cemetery outside of San Francisco. Wow, I've never seen ones like this. This is like kind of above. They're in, but above, I don't know. It's very interesting.